I like this tank. This tank is dope. Just inverts in this. I got cleaner crews in this tank. Hermit crabs, emerald crabs, porcelain crabs, the anemones, a few mushrooms. Nice little feather dusters. A lot of macroalgae. I got a little bit of some fragging to do today. Got this nice piece. Still has some acans left. Some zoes. Mushrooms, some little leathers. That's better. I wish I had a better camera for this. Sorry, guys. Some nice recordias. I like those red mushrooms there. These anemones here were ones that were floating in that 1,500-gallon aquarium that I had to dive in. These just took over the tank. And to keep them from just getting stuck in the power heads, we brought them back here. Sorry, it's not the best coloration with the lights here, but they are huge. We got rock flowers, condies, I don't have a lot of stuff, but people really like the mushrooms, the stuff that you can get a lot of for cheap, that are large and grow easy. I'm making some salt water here, clean up all these tanks. This guy's been in quarantine for a month now. This is a Queen Angel. He's a good 6 inches at least, even bigger. Eats like a champ. Beautiful color. He's in there with 2 banded butterflies. I'm gonna actually transfer him over to this. I might keep these guys in here. But these little pearly jawfish, I'm gonna move over into separate tanks. Look at these little guys. These guys are funny. So they've been in quarantine here for over a month as well, too. Some blue reef chromis. Those were really popular. They don't last long. I'll put this background in there with this big bad boy. Give him a little more room. Eventually I'll shut those tanks down again. Mixing some salt water right here. Actually. Trying not to drop my phone. So I'll take these 2 buckets, fill them, mix the salt water to do some water changes. These are some tanks that I use as rentals. They've got some nice little custom 3D backgrounds in them as well. This new rack, I'm gonna use more of like a, it's too difficult to plumb the whole thing together the way it's made. So what I'm going to do is use it as a temporary holding tank and medicating tank for fish. I'll make room for that in the back. I've got to start doing some of that today. Getting some space cleared up. Did this tank maybe last Saturday. Gave it a good trimming. Trimmed off some of those Anubias leaves that had really gotten covered in algae. It'll give some chance for some new growth. And I scooped out a bunch of the tetras and stuff that I had in here to put into clients' tanks. But I spread around a couple of the little pups from the crypts and planted them over there. I got to get some root tabs and put some root tabs in here. This is another 3D background by Nature Decor. I got another one over here. Let me show you. This is my African cichlids. I'm not going to do the tank this week. I give it a good water change already. I've got that weather effect on the current satellite LEDs. You can see the little change of color. I like mbunas, still some of my favorite fish. Really nice tank. I was happy with this one. The way it was framed in the wall nicely. And the plywood that looks like fake barnwood gives it a really cool effect. It's better when it's dark outside, you get a bit of the glare. But there we go. So here's the fish room. I'd actually like to move this table out of the way. I want to keep it as a workbench, but free up from some floor space in here. Check out these gorgonians. Beautiful. They're completely open. These are photosynthetic ones, so they like the light. You don't have to worry about feeding them anything. A few more back there. I got a client that just eats these things up. I had to hold a bunch of snails for him, so I've got 100 extra snails all around this tank. I found 2 of them on the floor this morning. Still alive, I believe. They crawled right up and out of the tank. So I want to get stuff in here that grows really quickly. So some people with larger tanks, they can't wait for frags. They need colonies of stuff to really seed their tank. So they want large pieces covered in stuff. So GSP, pulsing xenia. We got some Amphilia there. These large mushrooms, anemones are very easy. They eat this stuff up. A lot of people like to collect little pieces, but it's fun to watch them grow. I've got a tiny little bird's nest right here. And I don't really dose or anything for this tank, so SPS doesn't... It's something that takes a while to grow, I guess, so I don't really do it in my own tanks very often. A lot more work to maintain an SPS tank. And the anemones just spread like wildfire, so they're really popular. Got the water going. So I got a juvie queen angel in here. Look at this little guy. Awesome. My phone's not very good. I want to focus on him a little better. Crazy how small he is. I've had this little guy even longer. I was surprised when he came in, but he's hardy. He eats like a champ. Little chalk bass in here. We got a cleaner shrimp back there. Got some oddballs hanging around. Usually what I keep a lot of on hand is, I like to hand pick tangs and stuff myself and dwarf angels, but most of the time it's little lawnmower blennies. That's a lavender tang there. So I pre-quarantine stuff here extra long, and there's just this little guy right here. There's more of them in there. I have no idea where they're all hiding. These little guys, your diamond gobies, these are red diamond gobies. And filefish. Aiptasia eating filefish. Sort of the staples, you know? You want to build your setups around certain fish, and then there's certain fish with jobs to do in the tank as well. Wrasses are good. You want to maybe have a nice little school. It's all about finding a proper balance. I got quite a bit of them in there, so I got a coral beauty and a wrasse up there. There's one of the cleaner shrimps. I like to keep the holding tanks looking sharp and spick and span. Just checking on the water. I did a little bit of trimming on the biopod today. There, focused a little. The lights always play tricks with the phones. Beautiful though. My beta. The maybe I did. I think I called him my boy Blue. He's blue. A little bit of sand down there, live plants. I collected a lot of that stone myself. I love doing that. Same with like driftwood. I didn't collect this driftwood myself. It's just grapevine and stuff like that. It's great for terrarium use. It's not the best. It leaches a lot of tannins into the water, so it can be messy for aquariums, but it works awesome on this one. I made baby this one a little today. Hard to catch these guys on video, sorry. The lights are just so strong. Maybe that's a little better, if you guys can see that. Give this tank a little TLC today. A lot of rock, some nice brown sand down there. A lot of driftwood hanging into the tank and roots. I got a little bit of some stem plants back there growing well, but it's mostly, yeah. You like? Thanks, bro. And I keep Oscars and what is it? Clown loaches. And we got white cichlids in here. So the Vieja Argentea, that's the small one. Where's the big guy? There's a lot of space for them to hide in there. I'm surprised he's such a large fish. And he holds his own against these 3 Oscars. These Oscars are beast. I got some food prepped for everybody. I know these guys are hungry. I like just getting the Java fern, or this is a different type of fern. Trident fern, maybe? Just growing off the wood, but the light down there I would have thought would be perfect for the Anubias, but they seem to be browning. I don't dose anything on these tanks, so maybe I should. But check that out, the pothos. Oh, hold on. I do this all the time. Spill water. Okay, so here's the tank here, framed into the wall, with a planted wall behind it, lights mounted above. Pothos just growing like crazy out of the top of the tank. We've got some Amazon sword there as well. The ferns are the one thing I find that do really well on the wall, because open like this, you don't have enough humidity. But I do have a misting system up there, and the misting system keeps the plants kind of wet. I'd plant more ferns if I were to redo something like this, or build a proper enclosure and glass it off completely to maintain the humidity. But it was a cool way of doing it. I liked it. So there it is, guys. I just about spilled water all over the floor and made a mess of the place. I got a lot of work to do around here, so thanks for popping by. What's up, guys? Enjoy your weekend.